Hello, welcome back to Omni Adventures. I am sure you're excited to go back to Disneyland just like I am, just like Manny is. And today we're going to go over everything you need to be prepared for when it reopens. There's going to be a lot of changes, but they don't have to be scary. So we are going to go through everything on how to get prepared for when Disneyland reopens. Let's get to it. I know a lot of you are really stressed by the changes happening to Disneyland right now, but there's no need to worry. Disneyland is doing this for the safety of you and your family, so it's really important that we follow this first rule. Number one, safety first, wear your masks. Of course, for your safety and the safety of your family, Disney now requires that everybody wears masks in the park at all times, possibly an exception in dining. However, it is important that you wear your mask, and please make sure that it covers your full face, nose, mouth, and under your chin. Now, to make your stay at the park much more comfortable, make sure to bring several masks, around 3 or 4. 3 to use, 1 to lose. Of course, bringing several masks would be preferred just in case you get one dirty, you get it wet during a ride and it's no longer functional. And it's always great to cycle through them through the day in case they get dirty, and it's just a lot less hazardous, more comfortable, and it keeps everyone a little more safe. Now, this next one is optional but highly encouraged. Bring your own hand sanitizer. Now, I know Disneyland is stepping up cleaning procedures. They're gonna have hand sanitizer stations after all the rides and around the whole park. However, it's always nice to have your own just in case, or to be a little bit more cautious. But if you can't do it, it's alright. Disney will have them on hand. Number 2, have online reservations prepared, and this is super important. Disneyland has not set anything in stone yet. However, they have made something really clear, and that is that there are no general admissions allowed. There will only be online reservations for Disneyland, and this is to keep attendance low, and it's, of course, for our own safety. So, most likely, we are going to get some sort of online reservations either on our phones or through our computers, and we're going to have to show some sort of identification for that. So, please make sure you have your tickets and reservations prepared. Number 3, probably the most important of all of them besides the last 2 I mentioned, bring a backpack. First and foremost, for backpacks, they need to be comfortable. You're going to be carrying this the whole day. And if you're like us, Manny and I are at Disneyland from 8 till they close. So you want it to be comfortable, you want it to be spacious enough to fit everything you want, and maybe on the small side if you want. Personally, I don't like purses because they slip off your shoulders. It's too much weight in one side. But I mean, it's anything you prefer, really. Personally, I take a smaller backpack that carries the snacks, my sweaters, and anything else I might need. This backpack is probably a good size if you're going just by yourself or with one other person. This fits my snacks, my water, and extra clothes if I ever need anything. And it's really not too big. It has 2 straps, so it's really easy to carry around everywhere. And since it's so small, I can just put it between my legs in between rides. Now, I already mentioned this a little bit with the backpack, but number 4 is water. We all get thirsty at Disneyland, and we don't want to be buying the $5 waters they sell at the stores. It's just not worth our money, at least. And so instead, we bring our own bottles of water. If you like, you can bring the plastic water bottles, bring one for each member of your family, and you can refill them at the park. Or if you'd like to be a little more environmentally friendly, just go ahead and bring your own bottle of water, empty it out, and you can refill it at the park as many times as you like. It's very cost efficient, it keeps you hydrated, and you don't have to spend money on water. Number 5, I personally find this one really important because Manny and I get so hungry at Disneyland. Bring snacks. Snacks are so important. Disneyland allows you to bring a small amount of snacks, maybe even a cooler if you have a big family. You can bring either a small peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or you can bring a bunch of granola bars, a bunch of chips. Just go bizarre on the snacks. Have enough for the whole day. I promise you, this is worth it, especially if you have little ones that want to munch on something 24/7. Number 6, dress comfortably and bring a change of clothes. This is super important. We want to be comfortable. Those heels are not going to make it in Disneyland. Believe me, you're going to get tired. Disneyland is a very active place and you're going to want to move around everywhere. You're going to be walking a lot. So you really want to be comfortable for all of these rides, especially if you get wet. Now, if you get wet, sure, you can wait until you dry out and then go see the fireworks show. However, you're going to be very uncomfortable and very cold, so please bring a change of clothes. You're gonna be so grateful that you did. Number 7, a charger. I know most of us, me included, Manny included, we don't have the greatest battery life. And so our phones are naturally gonna run out of battery probably 3 hours into Disneyland, just because, we're always taking photos, we're always taking videos. So bringing a charger could really come useful at Disneyland. Okay, number 8. Now this one is a little bit unorthodox because not everybody thinks to do this, but it's a really smart thing to do. And Manny and I make sure we always do it when we go to Disneyland. Bring a plastic bag. Now I can't emphasize how important this is because you might be carrying your camera, your phone, your charger. You're carrying all this electronics plus your clothes you're going to change into later if you choose to. And you need to keep them safe when you go on the water rides. So put them in your plastic bag, tie it up nicely, and off away you go. Forget about it till you gotta use it. And it's just really convenient. We've never had a problem with it, and it has always pretty much saved our phones. Number 9, I haven't been doing this one much lately because, when I go to Disneyland, usually has been in the fall or ends of winter, but definitely going to be doing this one now that we're in the triple digits. Bring your sunscreen. Please, please, please bring your sunscreen or you're going to regret it. I don't want to be looking like a little strawberry when I go over there. I'm allergic to strawberries. It's the last thing I want. So bring in sunscreen. It's really going to save your life and it sure will save mine. Just don't get burned at Disneyland. Not in the happiest place on earth. Number 10, this is not necessarily for you if you like getting wet. However, I don't like getting wet at Disneyland, so this is for all y'all that don't like getting wet. Bring a poncho. You don't want to be buying a poncho at Disneyland. They're quite pricey, so we prefer to get ours from the dollar store, Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, just anywhere that's cheaper at Disneyland. So if you're one of those people that doesn't like getting wet, go ahead. Buy your poncho, bring your poncho, keep it in your pocket, and get ready to use it. Last but certainly not least, bring a sweater. I know it's Southern California, it's always sunny, we're, in the middle of June. However, it does get pretty chilly at night and, it's just better to be prepared and not suffer. So I like to bring a light sweater and it just keeps you a little cozy at night. You're not, uncomfortable any part of the day. And that was it for how to prepare to Disneyland when it reopens. Now, I know it's a scary time for everybody, and it's going to be really weird to go back to Disneyland with all these new regulations. However, you don't have to let it get the best of you. Disneyland is still Disneyland. They're doing the best to keep us all safe, and they're bringing us the magic as soon as possible. And I'm, for one, I'm grateful for it, and I'm grateful that Disneyland is doing their best, their hardest, keeping attendance low, keeping us, a safe distance apart, cleaning after every rider that rides the ride, just cleaning all the rides after every person. And, I feel comforted by the fact that Disney is doing something for us. And, this is for us to enjoy ourselves in this hard time. And I think that's great. It's a wonderful thing. I'm glad we can go back to Disneyland, and you know, it's not much different to get ready now than it was to get ready before. But if you disagree, I mean, this won't last forever. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you saw, feel free to like or subscribe. Tell us, are you excited to go back to Disneyland? Will you go back to Disneyland? And what do you think about these new regulations they're making? Make sure to follow us in our social media. We do have an Instagram and a Twitter. We'll leave the links down below. And make sure to join us on our next adventure. Bye!